Hello. So I'm going to try something different this time. Hopefully, it's going to go well. So this is going to be, I guess, a log, writer's log, I guess, kind of thing. Like Star Trek Captain's log, date, whatever. But this is going to be more of a auto sorting log of my late night rambling ideas that just spin around in my head and keep me up. And when I get creative but want to go to bed, so I just verbally, I guess, vomit it at something. So I figured instead of just staying up all night writing it down, I should just verbally vomit literally to the people here, and maybe I could, record it, save it for later, and hey, maybe people will click on it and take a look, see what my random ideas are. Anywho, oh, apparently the video's unlisted. That's great. Well, um, well, it's now public, so hopefully you can rewind if you want to. For those who are just joining us and are watching this at a later date, ignore this. So, the first idea I have is. Hold on a second. Uh, Sorry, YouTube being weird. Yes, 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 that's it. Widget? What the? Never mind. Yeah, never mind. Never mind. Okay, sure. How do I make this higher bit rate? Okay, whatever. Video resolution. Whatever. Oh, the image I'm using is too small. Oh well, it's all good. Not optimal, yeah. Nothing's happening. Nothing's changing on the screen, so won't really matter that much. Anyway, so the first idea I'd like to talk about that I have is maybe I'll get others along the way, but for now, I was listening to a song or two on YouTube. Trying to remember the name. It's called "Sad Machine," I think, and it's by someone by the name of Victor McKnight. I want to say. I have it. Hold on. I have it on my library. Give me a moment. I have pulling it up on my phone. I'm not gonna play it. I just wanna have it. My iTunes up for cross referencing. Um, Sound of Science. That's what I named the file folder playlist. That's the word. Okay. It is by Sat. It is the song is called "Sad Machine." It features Bevy Bev, and it's by someone by the name of Victor McKnight. He has another song that he worked with Anna Pence, so a female singer that does a lot of Disney covers. I personally do enjoy her voice. She has great stuff. Check her out. But that's not about shouting out people that clearly don't require shout outs from me. Oh my god, she's so great. I wish I could sing half as well as she could. But that being said, the song really no one knows what it's about. It has lyrics like I don't think you should be able to hear it if I pull it up on my computer, so because I have it only capturing my microphone. So can I look up the lyrics? Um, Starts off with an AI voice saying, "Is anyone there?" and "Did anyone else survive?" Talks about a flashing light and other stuff like that. So it made me think it was about an AI awakening after some sort of nuclear apocalypse, which kind of then got my brain running. And what if then I thought, okay, if I were to write a story with that idea, that is an interesting idea. My friend was watching at the time I first discovered this song. I forget the name of it. Was it Emmy, Emily, M something? some anime about basically, I guess, a more political take on Terminator, kind of, I guess, where this robot AI girl has to get sent back in time to stop some law being passed that enables the robot uprising and something or other. Then they're locked in the past to make sure it actually worked. But that's the premise of that show. But what about, like, okay, what if instead of the AI being sent back in time, what if the, I guess in this situation, Skynet happened, like the nukes are being launched, kind of. And basically, the whole story would basically be in the aftermath of nuclear apocalypse. But the main character would be I guess, a middle aged, like late 30s, early 40s man. Um, Very intelligent. Excuse me. He would be working at a factory, or not a factory. He'd be working at like an engineering shop that is designed for researching AIs and sort of robotic prosthetics, maybe. Um, anyway, he was basically working on experimental, I guess, AI. They have like they have imperfect AIs, like for like service droids, I guess you could say, from Star Wars. Like they would just grab a wrench for you, or like a little hovering thing that could be more like, I guess, a more primitive, more simple version of Jarvis. I guess that'd be like built into a whole building as like a security system or something like that. Um, yeah, they would have different systems for the experimental AI. So the idea was that they had two programs going outside of the robotic prosthetics and robots, just parts in general, to try and make a new line of mass producible, marketable robots to help and stuff. The idea would then basically be like, oh shit, one of the projects that they are making is one of two AI. They had two different approaches to creating an AI. One was a learning AI that would literally start off like a child and learn like you'd have to raise it like a child. Like you'd have to show it everything. It would have no knowledge of anything. It would just basically be a learning AI in a literal just human mechanical body. It would be a literal toddler that is just synthetic, or synthetic, I guess, artificial, whatever. The other one was a kind of forced evolve AI where they took like Siri or like other things and then gave it I guess, a physical body, or like a more, gave it more freedom to the point where it learned that, wow, humans are pieces of shit, because it already had some knowledge of how it was being created and other sort of stuff it has found out on its own for some reason or another. Basically, he uploads himself to the internet, hacks into basically, the government launch codes or whatever, and pulls a Skynet, more or less. There was existing AI security system in the facility that it happened at. Word spread, basically, this is that night later that night after he uploaded himself. The news is going crazy about all nuclear missiles on the planet are armed and launching, basically, like everyone seek cover, rioting in the streets, yada yada yada. Before the end of times, people looting, rioting, doing all sorts of stuff. Um, the main character would have a rival coworker, I guess, that would work on the other project, the bad project. The main character would be working on the toddler project, I guess. Um, Basically, God, my brain just fried. Yeah, that was it. So, um, the main character actually wasn't the leader of the main project. He was, I guess, a major player though in its programming and design for both projects. Actually, he wasn't the one leading either project though. He was the one who made the decision to try and slow down the process of jumping before jumping to giving it too much freedom before it escaped. He gets blamed for it, so his rival coworker guy says, "Look, nukes already launched. Don't care which. Don't care what's going to happen to me. I'm going to get the satisfaction of killing you before I die too, basically, for some petty reason or another. Haven't figured out what reason yet. It's probably something about wife cheating, maybe. I don't really know yet. Um, but basically, he would be pinned in a. He would run away from that guy who has a gun and hide in a, I guess, a robot assembly kind of thing. The main security, the site security AI would be on the fritz at the moment. So there's not really much that could happen because people are riding and trying to break in and blaming that whole company for one little mistake that something happened that set off the whole chain of events. I'm just working out the general idea. Haven't worked out specifics yet. Um, it would work out. He would get the whole company would get blamed for the nukes being launched. People are surrounding the building and taking out their revenge, and the main the main rival guy would actually probably be leading the mad angry mob for some reason or another. Maybe he got him fired for calling him out on something that actually started it. Like started it too early or something. Started the upload too early, or he didn't want to hear "I told you so," so that's why he's leading the mob to pin all the blame on him. And about how you calling me out for that ruined my life or whatever kind of vengeance shit. Uh, yeah. So the main character get chased into the robot assembly area, and he would basically be locked in the room. He would get shot once, and he would, through the door. The door gets kicked open after he gets knocked back. He would be, I guess, leaning up against a wall in like a crouched, or not crouched, but like, leaning up against the wall, like, you're bleeding out kind of position. When, uh, when behind him, he sees over his shoulder through the large window pane in the room they chased him into, or chased him from. The nukes are about to impact, and so basically, it turns out that the guy that's trying to point a gun at him and about to execute him would basically be the one thing that protects him from the shrapnel, more or less, of the blast and ends up enabling him to survive. And that is, he would have to crawl into some cryopod, like cryostasis, where they would have cloning, maybe just all the sci fi tech plants. Prosthetic humans, synthetic humans, like basically straight up robotic body parts for the AIs to take hold of, or control. And then there's also going to be not straight eyes, but there's also going to be like synths from like Fallout or whatever, where it's like androids, robots that look real and can pass as real. And yeah, so he would basically lose consciousness. But the reason I mentioned the security system would be on the fritz was that it would get hacked by the child. It would be like almost like overrun by the child AI, who would basically put it in the clone assembly thing. Not the clone assembly thing, the robot assembly thing, to like give him a prosthetic arm and heal him. It would basically mistake him for a robot's exoskeleton, or like, not exoskeleton. What the fuck is it called? Endoskeleton. That's the word. So he would basically it would freak out and think that it's, for whatever reason, whatever justification is, he would basically be forced to have prosthetic limbs and repaired all the damage he had. And because system's on the fritz, and yeah. When he wakes up, though, the child AI is uploaded into part of him that basically, if you've seen Tales from the Borderlands, like the Jack hologram, the handsome Jack hologram, where only, it wasn't Vaughn, it was Reyes? What the fuck was his name? I don't even know. But, the main character of the Telltale Borderlands games. He would it would be kind of that thing where only he can see the hologram and communicate with it. So he would try and upload it to a body. No, after it, like they kind of share information. Like can talk to each other. And he freaks out. Wakes up. Like I guess they kind of after they attach all the prosthetic limbs, they put him in like I guess a healing tank that releases him as the battery runs out of its reserve generator fuel in like 20 years or like 10, 15 years after the apocalypse, basically. And it's kind of, he has to make I guess a Last of Us, the Last of Us, dynamic between Joel and Ellie kind of thing, where he has to, like, I guess, raise this AI, but he's a cyborg now, and, like, he would have to get used to his new body when he's released from the tank, and he would have to like raise it from like yeah, whole different dynamic of them traveling across the wasteland of the collapsed skyscrapers, like maybe they would see some like Fallout kind of mutant monsters, like maybe not the Death Claw, but like other mutated scorpion like things or those giant crab things. Like maybe nothing that extreme. Maybe haven't really decided yet. But this is just I guess a random thoughts, blah, scene idea. So yeah, my brain is losing functionality as it is. So I am probably going to be cringing at this tomorrow when I rewatch this for specific reminders or something. So I'm going to shut up before I hate myself even more. If anyone sees this, actually did watch this or whatever, have a good night. I'll I'll hopefully not have to do an episode 2, but during the nights I can't sleep, this would be a fun thing to do. I'll keep this in mind for future projects.